So today we're going to be looking at addition, and we're going to be looking at adding positive numbers and adding negative numbers. How we're going to represent those today is these blue tiles right here. They're going to represent our positives ones, and these yellow tiles are going to represent our negative ones. And the first thing we have to understand is that when we have an equation that looks like this, 1 plus negative 1, we need to be able to solve this using our tiles. And so what we need to realize is this would be 1 plus, and we're going to be adding a negative 1 to it. And a plus 1 and a negative 1 added together will equal 0. So we can think of these two creating a lone pair, and they cancel each other out. If you look at another basic equation, this is something we could all do in our heads, but for the sake of the video, we're going to start off just to make sure we really understand what we have. We're going to start off with our 2 plus. So we're going to have 2 of our blue tiles, representing 2. And the equation is telling us that we're going to add another blue plus tile, adding another positive. So if you look here, our equation's over, and we just have to count up how many tiles we have. 1, 2, 3. The answer is going to be 3. The next equation we're going to look at is adding negative numbers. So this follows the same steps that we were using before, but just now we're starting to use our yellow negative tiles, negative 1 tiles. So the equation tells us we start with 4 plus. So we have 4 positive numbers, 4 positive tiles to start with. And to this picture, we are going to be adding 2 negative tiles. So if we add to our picture, we're now putting 2 of our yellow negative tiles. Now the way we can think of this is we need to think back to the very beginning. A plus 1 and a minus 1, they will cancel out to equal 0. So we can look at these two right here. They come together, and we can actually remove them all the way over to the side. And what we're left with now is just 2 positive tiles. So 4, and if we add a negative 2, will leave us with 2 negatives, or 2 positives. So that's going to do it for our basic introduction for addition of positive and negative numbers. You should try and make some of your own equations on your own and try them out yourself. And you can always check these questions, your answers, with a calculator, and it's really helpful if you either draw these out or have little tiles you can work with like I made. In our next video we're going to talk about subtracting positive and negative numbers, so wait for that.